what you say. That you only meant well, 'cause you did.
Before Africa was corrupted by the European nations, slaves existed in Africa, but those slaves were more like indentured servants. African slaves generally had the opportunity to save up money and to buy their freedom. But when European nations came into Africa to find slaves, those slaves could not buy their freedom anymore. Instead, they were slave for life. The new slave trade took the African people from their families and their home country and shipped them to America and other places.
I'm sexy and I know it. I'm sexy and I know it.
Slaves were brought to America on boats where they were packed together in terrible conditions. Slaves were cramped under the deck for weeks without food, and slaves usually died every day. This was done to increase the number of slaves that can be transported in one ship. Now, here's a comedy clip from Family Guy of this.
Peter, we're going.
Well, we're not the first people to be dragged off against our will.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
Damn it, I swear to God, I will turn this ship around.
That works.
Okay.
Can we teach us a lesson?
Yeah, that's even better.
All right, if that's what you...
When they got to America, the merchants sold the slaves for cash, or traded them for valuables such as tobacco, spices, metals, precious stones, etc. Also, slaves were given new names. The slaves worked for their white masters their entire lives, until they died. The treatment of slaves varied depending on conditions, times, and places. Treatment was characterized by brutality, degradation, and inhumanity. Whippings and executions were done so that the other slaves would know what would have happened to them if they didn't do as they were told. When the War of 1812 came along, George Washington needed soldiers to help him win the war, so he instituted a way to get soldiers by offering freedom to slaves who fought in the war. Many slaves joined the 3rd Colony Battalion, and the slaves that survived the war received refuge. These former slaves were also able to get employment. 1815, the slave trade became a huge activity in the United States until 1860. Between 1830 and 1840, the slave population had reached 250,000, and by 1860, the slave population reached 4 million.
Let's go! Party rock is in the house.